So as you see here, if you're the meeting host, this is what it looks like from Google Meet. Of course, this works in Zoom and other platforms as well. You can see that it's a person or an AI agent waiting to be admitted to this meeting. And when I admit this agent, so I would typically ask a customer, hey, do you mind if I invite my AI assistant? He's just going to take some notes. So once he's in here, you'll see it would be myself, our AI assistant, and whoever the other people on the meeting are. And once they're in there, it will record the entire meeting, and you could go back and look at the contents of the meeting and even ask questions about that meeting. We also have this lovely function, which you're surely familiar with. This is the meeting booker. So you could send this URL to a prospective customer or to a colleague, and they could book a meeting on your calendar with you. Just a very simple way to schedule a call. I'm sure you've seen similar tools before because they're prevalent. But the good thing with us at Flash Intel, we provide both of these tools for free for all of our customers. And even if you're not a customer yet, so you could go in and log in and create a free account and get access to these two free tools, which is pretty powerful. So if you're a startup or a nimble sales team, you can use these tools to your advantage at no cost. So welcome to try them out. To get started with your Flash Intel meeting agent, just come to this top light blue icon, click on Settings, and then on this left column here, if you just scroll all the way down and come to Meetings, you can then bind your Google Calendar. Once you bind your Google Calendar, it will also automatically bind your Google Conference meeting tool. And very, very soon, probably by the time you see this video, we'll have the Zoom integration set up as well. So you could also go ahead and connect that. Another thing that you'll want to do is come to the U tab and just make sure that your time zone is set correctly. That way, all of the meetings will match on your Google Calendar. After that, you can come to your Meetings tab. Your Meetings tab by default shows some overviews of action items from past meetings, so you can know, here's some things that I need to do immediately. So these are tasks that have been assigned to me. You can also see the active integrations. The most important thing that you're probably going to be coming in and doing is looking at past meetings. So you could come into bookings. You will see any meetings that are live right now, and that's going to show some interesting features from the live coaching agent. You can also see upcoming meetings, but like I said, importantly, you can see past meetings. So say, for example, I'm going to open up this meeting, which is our roadmap meeting. This is an internal meeting we have discussing some interesting features. So this is what a meeting summary looks like. So after you have a meeting with a customer or even an internal meeting, you can see what was the purpose of the meeting, who were the people involved. On the right here, you have a video. You can see who was doing most of the talking. It looks like Zhe Huang was doing a lot of talking on this meeting, and I wasn't doing very much, but I was listening. And you could come down, you could see the transcript, who was saying what for an exact review. And in this meeting summary tab in the middle, if you scroll down here, you can see what were the key takeaways, the topics discussed, pain points of the meeting that were discussed, and so on. And you could also see that I already asked a couple questions, but you can ask questions on the fly too. So I asked, list all of the new product features discussed on the meeting. So here's some spam check and call ID features for our dialer and so on. And then I said, which ones were discussed relevant to one of our customers? And, here are the features relative to that customer, where I could say was the most, right? So this is the most exciting feature to be announced in this discussion. And where I could say, what were some follow-up points for me to do? Or so I want to say for Umar to do. And then instead of follow-up points, I'm going to say follow-up tasks for Umar to do. That's one of my colleagues. Was there anything that he had to do? So you can use this agent. So there, Umar, these are some things that Umar is going to do after this meeting. So you can see there's a lot of power in what we can do just by asking these questions. And very soon, we're also going to have this question asking feature to cover all meetings. So say, for example, you want to ask a very general question, what are some product features that I had across all my past customer meetings? Some product feature requests, so then it would just go off and list all of the product feature requests that customers had brought up. There's really a lot of power here. So do some experimenting, and I'm sure you'll find some interesting uses. Another very interesting, useful thing that you can use is our meeting router. So this is where you would create a meeting calendar. So I'm going to come and create a meeting router. You can do this if it's just a one-on-one meeting. Like, let's say, you guys are probably familiar with all of these calendar invite links. You say, hey, just open this link to book a meeting with me. That would be what that is. If you have a sales team, you can route the meetings in a round robin fashion to different people on the meeting. Or if you were to schedule a group meeting, you can do that as well. So I'm just going to do a one-to-one meeting just to make it very simple. And I'm going to call this book a follow-up meeting with me. And I'm just going to make it 30 minutes. And the invitee will be in English. And there's my follow-up from my previous discussion. And this is what the URL will be. I'm going to call it follow-up. And on this next page, you can see that it's assigned to my Google Calendar. And this is the schedule that it's available. I'm available weekdays between 9 and 4 Eastern, and you can edit that right here if you like, if you wanted to make it a wider availability or more narrow availability. And once a meeting has been booked, meeting facilitators will also be invited to the meeting. So you can also, let's say you have a manager that always wants to be invited to your meetings. You can also enable this to invite them there. So I'm just going to go ahead and click next. And these preset are fine. And that's fine too. So you can edit. This is going to be what appears on both yourself and the recipient's calendar. You could set if there's a reminder to be sent out beforehand. You send it to whoever you wanted to send it to. And here is what that reminder is going to look like, right? So it's good to have a reminder 30 minutes before the meeting. And some people like to do it even the morning of. So you could have a couple of reminders by clicking add an additional reminder right there. And once that's set up, you'll see that now I have my book a follow-up meeting with Paul. If I copy this link and if I was to send this out to a customer or to anyone that wants to book a meeting with me, this is what it's going to look like. You'll see that tomorrow is my earliest availability, and I have some meetings booked in the morning already, and some in the afternoon. So this is my only availability for tomorrow, and whoever wanted to book it could go ahead and book it with me. And of course, once they book a meeting with me, the meeting note taker will be invited as well. And in some cases, you'll find that the note taker was not invited. Maybe if a customer invited you to a meeting, your note taker might not have been invited. So if you come to the For You tab, and let's say you're on a call with a customer, and you want your note taker, your customer sent you an invitation to a call. So the Flash and Tell note taker is not in there. And you could say to your customer, hey, do you mind if I invite my note taker? I think this is just going to be useful for me for whatever reason. And you could go send meeting note taker, and you would just copy the meeting link. So just as you find in your Google Calendar. So if I come, let's say to Google Calendar, and I have this meeting open right now, I would just take this URL, copy this into this section here. And when I click on send, while you're in the meeting, the note taker will automatically be invited. And then the person who organized the meeting can confirm that your note taker will be let in. But in most cases, it's probably you setting up the meeting with your customers or with your colleagues. So when it's you that sets up the meeting, as long as you did those first two steps of connecting your Google Calendar and your Google Meet or your Zoom, the note taker will always be invited, and you'll have the permission to accept or deny them into the meeting. And we also have this Insights Overview tab. So I could see, the people on my team who is having meetings this week. It was a long weekend this week, and it's only Tuesday. So our team is working hard, and I could see, everyone's having some successful meetings. Look at this guy attending 4 meetings already today. That's only the beginning of the afternoon. Amazing. So, play around, explore. I'm sure you'll find some interesting things in here, that will be useful for you. Great. Thank you very much.